What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about KAS yet again. I just made a video. It's actually being uploaded right now. It is literally uploading. KAS, I was wrong. I think it's a good video. I'm sure a lot of KAS people don't think it's a good video. I hope people poke holes in the logic there. I'm open to it, man. I welcome criticism, and I welcome people proving me wrong, but and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, it's very rare that I post facts, right, that get proven wrong, and somebody actually poked a hole in something that I believed was a fact and I was wrong, and that's the main reason of this title. I go over that in the beginning, but it doesn't diminish anything that I've been saying about KAS. And actually there's some new facts that I found that do diminish my targets on KAS, and I'm going to kind of go over that now. I meant to include this in that video. I want to do KAS compared to BTC. Where is it? I just did it. Okay, hold on. KAS USD, BTC USD. We're going to compare it to Bitcoin. Okay, KAS to there. Oh, I didn't press enter. That's why. So this is KAS versus Bitcoin. We're all used to KAS versus the US dollar, right? This is the all-time history that we have available on TradingView. It goes back to May of 2022. Nice, there we go. Actually, the very last day of May, the 30th, right? So technically June, let's just say. Whereas here, you know, this only goes back until also June. Okay, so it's the same length. But this is the Bitcoin chart. So priced in US dollars, priced in Bitcoin. It more or less looks the same, right? And that makes sense because it has been gaining value versus Bitcoin, but this chart, I must say, looks a little bit less healthy than this chart does. You're getting higher highs here and higher lows, where here you have maintained lower highs, 1, 2, 3 highs now, each one succeeding, or I guess not this high, but 2 succeeding lower than the previous, and you have two lower lows now, looking like you're going to continue to go lower. You rejected your overbought zone. You had a nice finish here with your RSI up in this area, up in the mid 80s there, topped off, and now you're struggling to even get back above your overbought zone. You haven't been above your overbought zone for the longest time in this thing's history versus Bitcoin. And I think this is just also another testament to what I've been saying, that I think KAS is near the end of its run. This is not the USD pair. Okay, I do think KAS has higher to go. In this video, I go over why I don't think it's going to go above $1. I have a hard time thinking it's going to go above $1 personally, which would then imply that I have a hard time thinking that KAS was going to see a market cap above 25 billion. And yes, I mean that. If you want to poke holes in my logic, I encourage you all to watch that video and just tell me some things that I'm missing, right? Don't give me those snide comments. You don't know the history of KAS. You don't know the power law. I know all that shit, guys. Like, give me something. Do something like what Ye did. Like, actually give me facts that prove me wrong. I'm open to it. I can be wrong, man. I can be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Help me figure it out. I will make a video saying I was wrong. I will make a video being like, this actually, it makes sense why it'll go to $4. I don't hate KAS, but I don't want to see it not grow. I'm just trying to not see people be bag holders while the rest of the market pumps more than KAS, and you've missed the heydays, right? I think the best days of KAS are behind it. If you look at this chart for what it is, KAS versus BTC, it's doing things. It's been doing things since November of last year that it hasn't done throughout its whole history. It is showing weakness versus Bitcoin. And this rejection, it might not seem significant to some people. If you don't know TA, that's okay. I do know TA. I've been doing this for over 7 years, almost 8 years now. And rejecting the overbought zone like this on a weekly basis after struggling to get above it for so long, it tells me, and to me, it looks like you are in some kind of downtrend right now, right? Like the RSI looks like it's in a downtrend. It tells me that you might be moving to this 50. Perhaps you move up, right? Perhaps you get a bounce there, and that's whenever KAS itself is breaking out, you know, who knows, versus the US dollar. But inevitably, what it tells me is that you're going to work to a lower low, as you have been. Lower highs beget lower lows. You might hit this oversold zone, and then who knows, man, you might actually get into the oversold zone. And KAS enters a bear market, not just versus Bitcoin, but versus USD. The main thing that I think is interesting about this chart is that right now, as bullish, undeniably bullish, the amount of growth, you guys, KAS since June of 2022 has seen a 3,000x. Since June of 2022, we are in July of 2024. In a 2-year period, this thing did a 3,000x. That's insane. Did over a 300,000% growth. That's insane. Phenomenal rally. most bullish chart in crypto, bar none, absolutely. But nothing moves up in a straight line forever. And you can see it in the USD, right? You can see it in the USD form right now. It has grown the least in the most amount of time that it has compared to any other phase here, right? This move here from a low to a high, right? And let's use the box. Let's use the box from a low point to a high point here. I meant to include this in my last video, but I forgot. That took 25 weeks and you grew 1,200%. Not bad. Pretty damn good. 25 weeks, 1,200%. Good job. From a low point here to your high point here, it took you 25 weeks, and this time you only grew 161%. You're getting exhausted. This is what exhaustion looks like. You can see it in the RSI on the USD pair. You did double top the overbought zone. I think that you are about to break out. I do think you're about to move higher. I really have a hard time thinking that you're going to go above 20 billion or 25 billion in market cap, which means that I don't think you're going to go above $1. You might not even go above 50 cents. As crazy as that sounds to some of you, you might not. But I think you could, but I'm more solid that you won't go above $1 right now. But what I am certain of, or what I am very confident in right now, is that your run versus Bitcoin is over. It's over, man. You're only going down likely from here. And you might go down here. You might find a higher low and start to move up versus it. You know, you've definitely seen your phases, but it won't get a higher high. That, at least based off the trend that we're going off of. Now, this could be a megaphone pattern, which is also called a broadening wedge, right? It looks like this, right, with the lower highs, lower lows, and it gets broader. As you see, it's like tighter toward the beginning of the pattern. It gets wider down there. Megaphones tend to have 5 legs, right? And this is what I mean by a leg. This is 1 leg. This is 2 legs. This is 3 legs. This is 4 legs, okay? And if a megaphone is to break out to the upside, what you look for is a leg, a 5th leg that still moves down, but it either comes in the form of a higher low, or most of the time, this is the most likely form of this kind of move, would be, right, here's your megaphone. You can probably see it better with these straight lines. It's not even that perfect, actually. Or what you would more likely see is a lower low than your most recent one, but you don't interact with this line. It's very common on this 5th leg to have what they call a partial decline, or maybe it's a partial incline, where you reach for the line but you don't get there, and that's actually very bullish. And then on your 6th leg up, that's when you break out and you continue to move higher. And that's possible. It's absolutely possible, right? The way I have it drawn, maybe you drop like you did here, you could move up. You could be, by the end of this year, you could be at new highs versus Bitcoin, and I could be wrong. But we would need to see this first. And first and foremost, you're in your 5th leg down. Look up megaphones, man. I mean, we can look it up right now. Actually, let's do megaphone pattern. If it shows a 3-legged pattern and it makes a fool out of me, I'm gonna be upset, man. But I've been doing this for a little while. I'm pretty sure it's a 5-legged pattern. Yeah, look at this right here, right? Megaphone bullish, bearish. What's the difference? Well, it breaks down or it breaks up, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breaking out, actually. It has it breaking out, which I don't think, maybe that's how they have it on the 5th leg breaking out. And if that's the case, this is more bearish than I thought. That would absolutely mean that you're done and that you break out to the downside. But I think you can reverse it. I actually think I want to go on the pattern site right now. Anybody looking to do TA, I really recommend this site. It's blinding. The light is, you can see it on my face, man. It is blinding me right now. But if you go to chart patterns here, this is free, patternsite.com. Thomas Bulkowski made this. He's a very respected and renowned trader in the trading world. You can buy his books or whatever. You don't have to. Everything that he does is free. But other than his books, and he does courses too, I think. But he gives quizzes and tests that are free as well. But if we do, let's see, broadening wedge or megaphone. I'm just going to look up megaphone because he's old school, so he probably calls it a megaphone. Nope, he probably calls it a broadening wedge, actually. All right, so I would have thought he would have called it, let's see, broadening wedge, descending, broadening tops. Hey, there we go. Broadening top right here. So, and see, he talks about the partial decline. And see here, it actually doesn't even get near that low line. It's like right there. And that, in my opinion, that'd be your best case scenario. That's what like this line would be, right? It could do that. And if we look at his example, you've got like from here, you've probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down, right? So that, and this guy, again, he's got like over 50 years experience trading. So I trust his data, and he literally documents everything, dude. He's a legend, a straight legend. If you've never heard about him, you'll never forget him, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, partial incline, and then down, right? So Those are the two diagrams that he has. Let's see. That's a little bit tighter. Let's see here. He gives pictures right here. Can we pull them up? Or is this, that's not his. That's an ad. I feel silly. That's an ad. You got me. You got me, ads. There's the picture. This is what he'll do. All right. Well, that's too tight. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you broke out to the upside. And he's got more pictures, more diagrams to go off of. I don't know. He gives you a bunch of different examples. It looks like some of these don't even have 5. He's got them a little bit more unorthodox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breaking down, maybe. I don't know. How the count would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th leg it broke out, which goes back to what Google was telling us with these kind of things. So either way, man, whether this 5th leg is bearish versus Bitcoin, this isn't versus the US dollar, right? I would expect KAS still grows in value versus the US dollar, or it's bullish in the sense that you turn around kind of midway, as Thomas Wolkowski had identified in his first diagram there. Either way, you're likely going to move down. This is absolutely your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th leg. So you've got lower to go. What this would imply is that over the weeks, probably over the next couple months even, you're going to lose value versus Bitcoin, okay? Which would mean that KASPA is likely a less safe or a less profitable investment than Bitcoin is. I personally do think that paired with the RSI, paired with what you're doing now, I think that KAS is probably done growing versus Bitcoin for the rest of the market. That's how I personally feel. But time will tell. Prove me wrong. Hold support like midway through. Prove me wrong. Do a partial decline. Don't hit that bottom trend line. Prove me wrong. Don't break down. You know, you've got a bunch of opportunities to do that. This is still early on to determine which way it's going to break out to. But I just have a funny feeling that ultimately, based off of this RSI, the downtrend that it's in, and it is in a downtrend, that you're headed toward this oversold zone, which would only imply that as time goes on, you're going to continue to lose value versus Bitcoin. Even on your upswings where you're gaining it, it won't be a higher high. Just overall, you're going to continue to lose value. So anyways, I hope that helps. I hope that shines a light, a little bit of a different look on KASPA than we normally give it. We don't normally compare it to Bitcoin, but I know a lot of people do compare it to Bitcoin, and that's kind of what inspired it, was like, okay, let's actually compare this to Bitcoin. Let's see what it looks like. And the chart itself, as of right now, looks like dog shit, but it can look better. It's probably just going to take weeks or months to do so. There's going to be opportunities, but it's not going to be here. So over the weeks, over the months, Bitcoin will probably break out. KASPA probably moves up as well. It just doesn't move up as much as Bitcoin. Or there could be a worse scenario where KASPA moves down and Bitcoin moves up. That would be worse. But I have a feeling it's going to continue to move higher. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.